So we are doing sessions on Shiv Sutras and commentary has been given by Sri RAVISHANKARJI. So the yesterday one sutra we read was Namah Shri Shambhave Swatmanand Prakasha Vapuse. Namah. So we understood the meaning, the mind, the manah, that the mind, its nature is to wander outside. And when we say Namaha, so in front of God or deity or anything, when we say Namaha, the mind is turned inward. Then Shri. So what is Shri? The other name of Lakshmi, or we can say wealth, prosperity, status, power. The everything comes under this Shri. Sambhave and Swatmanand Prakasha Vapusha. Swatmanand Prakash. The Prakash means light and it emits from where? From Swatmanand, from the bliss of the self. The happiness is not limited to us, but spread to all who come near us. Such happiness is the sign of real success. Some people who do sadhana, though they sit from morning till evening with their fingers on their nose doing pranayama, shout at anyone who comes close and disturb them, even children. It means that there has been no reduction in anger. What are you doing? Sadhana? Is this a sign of sadhana? If this is what sadhana means, then it's better to stay away from it. Many youth have left sadhana because of this. In their homes, they see their older siblings, parents, grandparents, and relatives praying and applying chandan to their forehead and to others too. Yet their anger has not lessened even a bit. Seeing this, young people lose faith. They say, if this is religious life, we don't need it. It is natural. Many swamis who are in charge of mathas are like this. They show such uncontrollable anger. People come with devotion but are revolted by the way they see some swamis treating people. They think, how arrogant, and become angry and afraid. There is saying that people should have fear and devotion. This is not correct. Where there is fear, it is impossible to have devotion. And with devotion, fear cannot exist. Both cannot be together. Someone must have compiled that saying sarcastically, but the sarcasm in it has not been properly understood. Instead, people worry that a Swami will curse them. Devotion vanishes and only fear is left. Now, meaning of Vapuse. Vapuse, the body should radiate happiness. Life is complete when that happens. Then we realize that the aim of life has been reached. Swatmananda Prakasha Vapuse. This is the goal of the Shiv Sutras. We should read the sutras so that this happens. What can we do if this does not happen? Atha Shiva Sutraha. The meaning is, then hold on to the Shiv Sutras. After we are asked to hold on to Shiv Sutras, they are explained one by one. Each sutra is complete in itself. So, the first and foremost thing was given that what is the goal of life. So, first the goal has been explained. Namah Shri Sambhave Svatmanand Prakasha Vapuse. The light of bliss from the self should radiate from all over the body. This is the goal. Now, how to do it? Then hold on to Shiv Sutras. So each and every sutra has been explained. Each sutra is complete, but if we don't understand, then further the sutra has been explained in a different manner. The first sutra is Chaitanya Matma. It is made from two words, Chaitanya and Atma. We can realize ourselves to the extent that we raise our energy. The first sutra is Chaitanya Matma. Now it is explained. What is Chaitanya Matma? You are alive, but you are living as though you were dead, sleeping, eating, and talking. You are like one who walks in his sleep. Often mothers feed milk to their half-sleeping children who do not remember anything later. In the morning, they complain that she did not feed them food or milk. We also live like this, as though we eat while we are asleep and continue to slumber. We do not have knowledge of ourselves. How do we get knowledge about ourselves and about the soul? Knowledge grows as our energy rises. Chaitanya Matma. This is the first sutra. If we succeed in this sutra, then we become Namah Shri Sambhave Swatmanand Prakasha Vapuse. We reach our goal. Chaitanya Matma. Raise the energy in the body and in life. The moment our energy is low, our speech gets confused and we become lazy. When we talk too much, our energy lowers and we get bored. If you have not experienced this, then do an experiment. Try to abuse someone for 1.5 hours continuously, which may or may not even be possible in a short time. In a short time, your stomach will feel sick. We lose energy, which is required to digest food, and so the brain also stops working and starts functioning like a fool. Even if we eat more, vitality lowers. Have you experienced this? We are not at our best on a day when we overeat, isn't it? There are Brahmins who specialize in eating at death ceremonies, especially in Mathura and other such places. They are called Panda. Their only job is to eat wherever there is death ceremony. When many people die, they are in demand and sometimes have to eat at as many or 5 or 6 places in a single day. Once a son accompanied his father to the ceremony and they had a competition to see who could eat more. During the meal, the son drank a glass of water. The father got angry and slapped his son, asking him, "Why are you drinking instead of eating?" But they were not able to talk about it then. On reaching home, again the father asked the son the same thing. "I drank to settle the food I had eaten so I could eat more." The father slapped him again and said, The father slapped him again and said, "Why didn't you tell me there? I could have done the same and eaten more." So, this is explained in the form of a joke that how we should, how this is, and the people don't care about their energy while intaking the food. On another occasion, two ladies who were neighbors were talking. One was making the bed for her husband at 1 in the afternoon, so the other lady asked her, "Why are you making the bed so early?" The first one replied, "My husband has gone for food at a death ceremony. He will have to sleep as soon as he returns home." Hearing that, the other lady said, "That is better. For my husband, I have to send the bed to wherever he has gone for the ceremony. After eating, he cannot even make it back home." This is how eating is also tiring. So this is all explained about how to maintain energy and why we need to maintain energy, because we want to experience the self. We want to know the self. The self is consciousness, and the amount of consciousness we need to experience, we can experience only through raising our energy. Moving ahead. So where is our energy if you overeat? It is the same with those who oversleep. They cannot be full of vitality. That is why it is said Chaitanya Matma. We can realize ourselves to the extent that we raise our consciousness or vitality. That is why we should do pranayama, sudarshan kriya, and meditation. When you start doing these practices, then consciousness dawns. That is what the first sutra means. You are searching for yourself. Yourself is not something that is separate from you. Your consciousness is yourself, from which everything has been created. It is possible to experience this only when you become one with your consciousness. The same consciousness also makes it possible for you to understand yourself. Only this consciousness can understand itself. As consciousness or energy increases, knowledge also grows. One who is awake has tremendous consciousness. Even the sleeping man has consciousness, but only the one who is awake knows it, while the other one is unaware of it. Chaitanya Mahatma. This is the first sutra. When we look at nature, consciousness is visible in every atom. Only in some it rests in a dormant state, in some it is partially expressed, and in others it is expressed in abundance. If one understands this and wakes up to this consciousness, one can reach the ultimate goal. Swatmanand Prakash Vapu says. So this goal has been explained again and again, has been reminded again and again. The light of joy in our body is our consciousness. We chant, do yogas, yagyas, and practice yoga in order to raise our level of consciousness and move towards the goal of self-realization. In fact, raising the level of consciousness is not the right phrase, because consciousness does not increase or decrease. It is only when we realize that everything is consciousness that we start to experience consciousness. Uh, Now the next sutra can blow your mind. Okay, why? Because this sutra is going to contradict everything what we have understood till now. The next sutra is Jnanam Bandha. So what we have understood till now, knowledge liberates. ज्ञान हमको बंधन से छुड़ाता है, पर यहाँ पे क्या लिखा गया, ये सूत्र क्या है, ज्ञानम बंध, ज्ञान ही बंधन का कारण बन जाता है। कैसे, ये हमें समझाया गया है। हाउ लिमिटेड नॉलेज क्रिएट्स बॉन्डेज। So here it's not the knowledge, that wisdom coming from the self, but it is the knowledge which is limited, like information which we receive from outside by means of anything. So whatever knowledge has been received from external sources is always limited and it creates bondage. So how it is explained further. The second sutra says Gnanam Bandha. When we sleep, we do not experience bondage. Only after we wake up do we feel bound. What binds us? The experience of knowing creates bondage. Once a person who was returning from a pilgrimage received the news that his house had caught fire. He was suddenly overwhelmed with fear, agitation, and distress, and was so shocked that his heart almost stopped. He was caught in bondage even before reaching his house. because of the knowledge that he heard. Limited knowledge creates bondage. After some time, another person approached and told him that it was not his house but a neighbor's house that had caught fire. Is that so? I am saved, asked the person. At once he returned to his normal self. The feeling of my house and mine created the bondage. That is why the sutra says Gnanam Bandha. Knowledge creates bondage. Without obtaining knowledge of the self, of who am I, we go about acquiring knowledge of the world, of what is this, and this causes bondage. So here it is said that the without knowing our own self, we are always eager to know what is the world, what is everything is about, and this creates limited knowledge, and that creates bondage. Where there is knowledge, the mind is limited. Some awareness is needed. For example, when you drive somewhere, you need to have directions. Work requires knowledge, concentration, and awareness. And when you focus, your mind becomes limited. The real nature of your mind is infinite. However, when we work, the mind becomes limited, and limited knowledge binds us. Many people are unable to sleep because they go on thinking. This thinking comes from knowledge. Can you think without having some knowledge? No. Good knowledge generates love and affection, while negative knowledge generates anger and hatred. When we see a beautiful object, whether it is nature or a person, there is desire to possess it and craving starts. Knowledge has created bondage. Similarly, when you see something that is ugly, the mind gets disgusted. Knowledge creates bondage. This is why it is said Gnanam Bandha. Every second in life is new, but the limited knowledge you receive through your five senses, organs at every moment ties you to the past. Every cell in nature is able to perceive, understand, and learn. This capacity is consciousness, which is the sign of life. So, what is the difference between a wooden peg and a butterfly? At someone's approach, a butterfly, sensing danger, will fly off, while a wooden peg will not move. The same consciousness is present in the wooden peg, but to a far lower extent. So much so that some might say it is not present at all. Even a stone has life, though it is so inert that it appears not to have life. Plants and trees also have emotions, but they are rarely seen. If one takes an axe to a tree, it cries in fear, and if one waters a tree, it is happy. However, a tree does not have as much consciousness as birds and animals have to express its emotions. When you show a stick to a dog, it runs away. But when shown a piece of bread, it wags its tails and comes closer. The same feelings are there in trees, but animals can express them more clearly. Although the consciousness in stones is far less, say 1%, it is still there. So, here Gurudev is saying that consciousness is there in every atom. In stone, we may not find it. Let it be a 1%, but it is still there. It is so much in dormant state that we cannot feel it. It is said that only knowledge will turn a man into a stone. This is something. Hmm? Okay, let me read it again. It is said that only knowledge will turn a man into a stone. How? A know-it-all cannot learn anything. A person who is living with this feeling, I know it all. cannot learn anything. So there is no life, no vitality in one who is unwilling to learn. Newness is the sign of life. Learning happens only when you feel something is new. The unknown makes you attentive. An expert cyclist can easily become careless, while a beginner will ride with full attention, keeping an eye out for every possible obstacle in the road. To be full of life requires attentiveness and a willingness to learn. When asked if he knows God, a wise person will simply smile and keep quiet because God is not an object of knowledge. I will read it once again. When asked if he knows God, a wise person will simply smile and keep quiet because God is not an object of knowledge. God is knowledge itself as well as the ability to know. God is life, not to think, to acquire. When you say, I know, your ability to learn becomes less, and the vast range of knowledge in front of you is limited. That is why it is said, Satyam Gnanam Ananta Brahman. Brahma means truth and infinite knowledge. In order to be free of the bondage of knowledge, the next sutra says. So, in this sutra, it is said that knowledge, we have heard that knowledge liberates, but here it is said that knowledge itself can become a bondage. Why? Because every knowledge taken through five senses from the external world is always limited. And if we hold on to that limited knowledge, we cannot know about infiniteness, which is our true self, which is godliness. So it is, if we want to know this limitless knowledge, we cannot hold on to what we have known till now. The I know it all attitude can hinder our progress. So the newness should be there, the readiness to know, to learn should be there. Our knowledge should not become, our knowledge should not limit us and should not bind us. So this is how we have to be careful that knowledge is also, knowledge can also become bondage, or rather knowledge is bondage when it is in the form of information. So today we will conclude the session. We will take next sutra tomorrow. Whatever you want to share, please do share.